We are having a guerrilla dance mob. We're going to roam the streets searching for Republicans and dance at them. At this point, democracy, real democracy, where the people take responsibility for their government, is a radical action. To see people dancing kind of orgiastic abandon, but not people that they usually think are going to be dancing in an orgiastic abandon, not degenerates of one sort or another, but, you know, people who look kind of like them, has a much more penetrating effect.
So it's like teaching politicians how to really dance.
The 22nd and 6th is more of a move like this. That's more, 23rd's more like that, and 22nd's more like that.
That's what we could do, you know. That's yes. Not dancing around the issues, dance around the floor. That's a kind of a good dancing. So we want to reform the politicians. That's the idea. We're going to reform them. Yeah. Dance reform, Dancearchy. That's what we're doing.
Having fun, you know, it's good. I love dancing anywhere, so, you know, any excuse to dance.
Well, it keeps getting more and more fun. You know, I know I sound like some PR jerk, but, you know, it really is. This afternoon, I was at the Axis of Eve protest, where in Battery Park, about 300 to 500 women took their skirts down to show their panties, and it was the slogan was "Expose to depose," expose Bush. And, you know, and there were all kinds of slogans, Bush out of my bush, and, you know, I was surrounded by these young women. I was surrounded by Bush, and the right kind, too, you know? It was so much fun.
The humor and the playfulness in the performances mixed with the politics allows a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily think of themselves as political to express political views. And it also makes people feel safe to be humorous in the way that they dissent, so that politics doesn't have to be something that's like heavy and depressing and, you know, overly moralistic. It can also be humorous, it can also be ironic, it can also be playful, it can also be incisive. I mean, humor can be a very incisive form of critique, and I think that this is a very incisive form of critique, and that we need to use the comic element of it and the sexual element of it to burst open a different way of thinking about the political situation that we're in.
And now tonight here we are dancing in the streets. This is great.
The great highlight, it's just the people's reactions, from the policemen to the just New Yorkers that enjoy what we're doing. You know?
Stereo. Video. It doesn't even matter what we're dancing for. We're dancing, right?
It might actually be something that we'll do just for the fun of it, just around. And actually, I've heard that there are other groups that are doing things like this. It's just the notion of spreading fun and you know, more frivolity into you know, your daily existence in the city. And it's actually the change that has to happen is deeper than all this squabbling that's going on. Because the squabbling, been part of the squabbling since the Vietnam War, and it's just squabbling and just keeps squabbling. They know how to play that game. They don't know how to play the game of liberation. They don't know how to play the game of empowerment. They don't know how to play the game of letting the muse move through you and connect to the source. They don't know that game. And that's the game that we've all got to learn, and that's how we'll connect to the source and save our planet.